So it's really simple tips to help you really, connect to what you're doing and connect to your audience. How are you contributing? And then celebrate along the way. The power of celebration is really powerful for me as a theme in my life and in my work. And so I love being able to give people ways that they can celebrate in their business.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman Podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice and business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Marta, for having me on.
Hey, I'm so excited. So we've been connected for a while now via She Leads Group, which has been such an amazing organization to be a part of. And I've seen lots of your amazing content and so many raving reviews about clients and people that have worked with you. So excited to learn more about your work and share your amazingness with our audience. So why don't you tell us who you are and what you do to get us started?
Yes, my name is Mary Gaul, and I am the owner of 2 businesses. I own a virtual assistant company called The Gift of Time, and that business is already 11 years old, which is just crazy to me. And then my other business, where I spend the majority of my time, is called Success Magnified, and I am a business coach working primarily with women entrepreneurs, solopreneurs up to 5 to 10 employees. So small in size, but big in passion about what they want to do. And I get to help those business owners really get the ideas out of their head and into an action plan, a prioritized action plan, so that they know what the right next step is for them in their business. And then I provide accountability and gentle nudges to help keep them on the path of where they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. And I love the names of both the businesses.
Thank you.
Well thought out of. I'd love to hear more about the story of you getting into this. How long ago did you get started? I know you said 11 years with the VA business. Did that come before the business coaching? How did that develop? How did you get into this?
Yes. I have 25 plus years in the corporate world, in marketing, operations, communication side of things. And for 10 years of those, I ran a law firm and did everything but practice law and kind of worked my way up into, everything that wasn't related to the legal system came through me in that office. And I learned so much about running a business and kind of had grown as much as I could there. And so I knew it was time for me to move to the next thing. And I had some friends encourage me to start my own business. And I was like, I don't know. I've always had a paycheck, a W-2 job. I don't even know what I would do for a business. And so kind of started looking around and found this VA virtual assistant business back in 2013. So really kind of before it was so popular, right? And left the law firm, started my first business in 2013 and quickly got to capacity, which is a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. Mm-hmm. I got to the point where I was like, I cannot take on another client. And even though I had helped grow other companies and worked on their marketing and worked on their operations, when it was my company, I just couldn't see the path forward. There's so many options and which one do I do and how do I grow and how do I scale? And so I was just stuck and I hired a business coach, joined a peer advisory board, started taking some courses, and within a year had completely changed the way I was running that business and hired in contractors and was able to keep taking on new clients. And I just loved the experience of working with a coach and seeing the result that it gave me, the freedom and the flexibility and the confidence to make changes in my own business. Mm-hmm. So then I got certified to be a coach that next year. And in 2015, started Success Magnified. So it's already 9 years old. And I just love the coaching aspect of what I do and getting to help other entrepreneurs to get out of that place of stuck. Because I can remember being there and I still go through those places, right? As a business owner, if we're constantly growing, then you constantly have challenges, right? So I love being that sounding board for my clients and being able to help them.
Yeah, that is amazing when we go through the experience and we know what it feels like, and it just comes across differently when you talk to clients, and it's like, I've been in your shoes. Believe me.
Yes.
And I know a lot of what you do is, like you explained before, is helping people really focus on what's the next step that you need to take, because it's so easy to get stuck. you reach a certain point and say,
Yes.
it's a good problem to have, like what you experienced because you were so busy, but you couldn't handle any more clients. And
Yes.
having somebody from the outside take a look. What is that saying? You can't read the label from inside the bottle, right? You have to have an
Yes. Yeah.
outside perspective of someone that has had experience not only with their own business, but in helping other businesses grow. Tell us more about maybe some client stories or some of the experiences that you've helped clients with by being that sounding board.
Yes. So I worked with a new client yesterday, and in our first session, she was just like, I have got so many ideas and I'm not sure how to move forward with them. And she was trying to move all of them forward. So she counted up in her notebook. She's like, I have 11 ideas. Projects, big projects, right? And I was like, no wonder you feel like you're stuck and you can't move forward. You can't move 11 projects forward at the same time. It's going to take you so much effort and so much more time to get them done, right? So we were able to break down her 11 projects and say which ones are the most important for you to build your business. And we picked 4 of those, and then we really broke those down for her. So she has an action item list of what to work on in those 4 projects to start moving them forward within the next 30 days. So she had things she was going to do this week. And I'm all about accountability and gentle accountability. I'm never going to be your drill sergeant kind of person, but I want to help you set goals that are meaningful to you as a business owner. And so we were able to break down her task list and say, okay, within the next 7 days, you can get this piece done. And then in the next 2 weeks, you can get these pieces done, right? So she just left that session feeling so relieved. And she's like, I've written this on paper. I've written out my to-do list, but I couldn't get to make progress with it, right? There were so many things, all 11 projects. So she was just overwhelmed. But by helping her prioritize that list and then break down the tasks, she felt so much better about knowing what she was able to focus her time and energy on, right? Yeah. Moving forward. So can't wait to have my next session with her and see how she did. Yeah. But she left the session just feeling that sense of relief and feeling focused and knowing what she needed to do next.
Mm-hmm. That accountability is just so impactful. Having the dates on the calendar. This is your homework.
Yes.
For the next several days, and then you get to report back and say, this is what's going on. Help me create the plan for the next one. And yeah, we could do this by ourselves, but it's just so much different when you have that person that is guiding you and holding you accountable. That's at the end of the day what it looks like. Yes. So do you work mostly one-on-one? What are some of your programs in different ways?
Yes. So I work either one-on-one and mostly on Zoom now, after COVID. I used to meet only in person with my clients, but now I have clients all across the United States and even in Canada. So I love the fact that we get to work with people all over the place on Zoom. So I do one-on-one coaching, everything from just a one-off 90-minute session. So if you just need to do that kind of brain dump and talk through something, and then you're good to go. You've got your plan. So I like to give small business owners options. Then I have recurring monthly packages that they can purchase. And then I also do peer advisory boards, which are my small group masterminds. So they meet once a month, and that really is how I got started in coaching. I was on a peer advisory board for a number of years, and just really having that trusted group of people. So mine are limited to 7 entrepreneurs. So it's a small, intimate group, and you really build a bond with these women, and they're all women. Mm-hmm. And you get to have that level of trust where you can come and talk to them about what's really happening behind the scenes. Right. In most networking groups, you have to be up and everything's great with my business. Please refer me, people, right? Totally. But we all know in the back end of your business might be falling apart, or you feel like you don't have the systems in place, or you just lost your biggest client and you're trying not to freak out about it, right? So the peer advisory boards give women that space to have those kind of conversations, which I just love. And then we get to brainstorm around whatever topic you bring each month. And then we also set our 30-day action items and have accountability built into that as well. So I like to give people the option whether they want the group experience or the one-on-one experience. And then I also do workshops and retreats, and I love doing that. I do quarterly workshops called CEO Time, because I found that many entrepreneurs don't like to look at their numbers, especially if they're in creative or service-based businesses. They they know it's important to look at the numbers, but they might cursory say, what's my profit and loss looking like? But they don't dig into the numbers. And so I created these workshops quarterly to look at what just happened in each quarter, and with your profit, your loss, what are you selling? Is it profitable? What do your expenses look like? And how are you spending your time? And then we look at that compared to where your goals are for the year. And then, are you on track to meet your goals? Do we need to switch something up? And then at the end of the year, I do a full day CEO time planning day, which helps really take a look at what just happened in the past year. We spend a full half a day just reflecting on what just happened and really looking at what happened in our business. And then we look forward for the next half of the day and really put together a plan for 2025 coming up, right? So all kinds of ways to work with me, because I know as an entrepreneur, I sometimes need more help and sometimes I'm fine on my own and can make things happen. So I like to have flexibility for my clients.
Yeah, there's different seasons, and I definitely like the mastermind groups. Like you said, it's a place for you to get a little bit more vulnerable and real, honest about what's going on, and then get support. Because when we're trying to pretend like everything's okay, how can people help us? We have to be
exactly.
There's a time and place for that, and creating that container is very important. So I'm happy that you facilitate that for people. It takes somebody to organize it with the right people as well. You have to be with the right people to be able to share more of the vulnerable information as well. Well, besides all of that, you're also a published author of not one, but two books. Tell us more about that journey of writing your books and what they're about.
Yes, I had the idea to write my first book right when I was starting, right after I had started The Gift of Time. I had gone to some webinar or something about write a book as an influencer for your business, right? And I was like, oh, could I write a book? And I came home and I told my husband, I was like, I think I might write a book. And he kind of rolled his eyes at me. And I was like, oh yeah, watch this. You don't roll your eyes at me. So then I wrote my first book, which is it's called The Guests Are Here, and it's all about entertaining. I love to throw dinner parties. I love to cook for people. I love to have people over for dinner parties. So it's really taking my kind of project management brain and applying it to the dinner party. And for people that don't entertain, it gives you step by step, here's how to throw a dinner party and why it's important to have that connection with people. And then my second book came after a year of creative writing with a buddy of mine, and these words, connect, contribute, and celebrate, just kept coming up in almost everything I was writing in our creative writing. So then I was like, maybe there's some theme here I should be paying attention to. And so I created this one for business owners. So it's called Vitamin C3 for Business, 52 ideas to connect, contribute, and celebrate your way to success.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be my next guest on the Empowered Woman podcast? Do you have a story you'd like to share? Want more visibility for your business on a show ranked in the top 0.5% in the world? Well, then head on over to martasburke.com/podcast guest for more information.
And so it's meant to be kind of used as a weekly check-in, if you will. There's 52 ideas, 52 weeks in a year, right? So you can flip through and pick one idea and say, hey, I'm going to try and implement that one this week, right? Or something like that. So it's really simple tips to help you really, connect to what you're doing and connect to your audience. Really contribute. How are you contributing? And then celebrate along the way. The power of celebration is really powerful for me as a theme in my life and in my work. And so I love being able to give people ways that they can celebrate in their business.
Oh, I love that. And I love how clever the title is as well.
Yeah.
Getting your vitamin C3.
Yes, I know. Give your business a boost. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I love having books to help promote your business and your message and establish yourself as more of an authority. Which one of these two books do you think has impacted, or maybe both have impacted your business growth and your exposure the most? How have you been using it as a tool for your business?
Yeah, Vitamin C3 for sure, because it's more business directed, right? Yeah. The other one is more about, entertaining at home. So I still talk about that one in references, but right. I still do actively, post tips. So Vitamin C3 came out in 2017. So it's already, a number of years old, but I still post about it. I still pull quotes from there. I still have a talk that I do occasionally on the 3 Cs. So it's still relevant information, and it does, again, set you up as an authority when you can say, here's my book, right? And I'm on Amazon. I'm an Amazon bestseller, right? So I really enjoyed writing the book. And in this one, I say that I was going to write, when I imagined this, I thought there would be 3 books in the series, which there still could be. They're in folders in my laptop right now, right? So someday they'll come to life and they'll be published. But I had the idea of vitamin C for business is the first one, and then vitamin C3 for your community, how to connect, contribute, and celebrate within your community, and then vitamin C3 for your family as well. So those other 2 are just keep collecting stories and ideas, and someday they'll come to life as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. And I love this series. I think that's one of the things that I learned in writing my first book is I wanted to cram everything in there. And then the editor was like, no, friend, this is not the scope. But then when we're done, I was like, this is how people write more than one.
Yes.
More things they want to say.
Yes. Yes.
Get to. So that's exciting to have a series with that under that name. That's super cool.
Yes.
Feel free to break down the 3, because I know you, like you said, you're a huge proponent of celebration, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about the 3 Cs. Walk us through them, because they're so cool and important.
Okay. Well, I think it's tip number 1 in the vitamin C3 book is about connection. And so when people think of connections in their business, they think of their network, right? So I take you internal first and say, how are you connected to the work that you do internally? How does it fill your bucket? How does it serve your life's purpose, right? And so we do that internal connection first. And then there's other tips about building your network and making connections and building that community within your business, network. So, but it's really important for us to take that internal view first and really make sure that we're doing something that has an impact for us, as a person, as a human being on the planet, and fills our bucket. And then, connect to everybody else out there. So that's the first step I do in connection. And then contribution, one of the favorite tips in there I love is don't be a hoarder, right? So we all are gathering so much knowledge every day. We're learning something new, right? I just learned a new keystroke shortcut this morning, and I love keystroke. I thought I knew all of them, but apparently it's Control-Shift-T. And that will reopen any of your browser tabs that you've closed accidentally. Like if you're, reading something and then you accidentally close all tabs, Control-Shift-T. So see, we're learning all this knowledge all the time, little tips like that. And so don't hoard that knowledge. Find a way that you can share it, just as I just shared it with your audience, right? So don't hoard your knowledge. We all are learning so much every day, especially in this day and age of AI and all the tools that are coming out. So find a platform to share your knowledge with other people, right?
I love that.
And then celebrate. I have so many ideas for celebration in there because it's what I love to do. How to build more celebration into your life in general, but as business owners, especially solopreneurs, we really need to build celebration in and focus on that, because otherwise you're just going through the motions. You're constantly moving that bar forward and you never get to the little piece of cheese in the maze, right? And so we've got to stop and reward ourselves every once in a while. And it can be a simple little, I have a 30-second dance party button. I'll put on a little 30-second dance party, or I have these fun little clappers. So I actually give myself a round of applause every once in a while if I do something good, right? Or have a great client. So just simple things like that. But one of the tips that I share with business owners is, celebrate your business anniversary. So if you don't remember the exact date you started your business, go to the Secretary of State and find out what day you registered your business, put that on your calendar and mark it as an anniversary and celebrate that. Share it with your clients. The statistics are still, less than half of businesses make it past year 5. So every year you're in business, you need to celebrate the fact that you're still in business and you're still doing something that you love, hopefully, right? And so, just I encourage people to get a cupcake, put a candle in it, make a wish, just like you do for a birthday, but actually stop and acknowledge that day and take a look back at what you've learned and how far you've come and the clients you've helped and the impact that you've had. on every business anniversary. So put it on your calendar and make it a recurring annual date so that you know this is the day I started my business and look at everything I've done since I started, right? It's just a really powerful way to celebrate once a year.
Yes. Oh, so many great ideas. I got to say, I'm going to start using, I'll give you credit, but I'm going to start using the don't be a hoarder. Because I always tell people you need to show up, right? You need to show off. There's no, I said the other day at an interview, self-promotion is not a curse word. I promise you.
Right. Yes.
You need to talk about your business and you need to talk about your gifts. So don't hoard your gifts.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Yes.
The world. But then the celebration of your business anniversary and we're just in general pretty bad at celebrating because, like you said, we're looking at celebration lasts half a second and it's like what's next, right? This is already done with. What's the next goal? What's the next mountain I'm going to climb? And we can't go on like that. You have to take some time to acknowledge your achievements for sure.
Yes.
I love that so much. Wonderful. Well, I do know you have a free resource for our audience here. So obviously I will have you share later on how they can connect with you, but tell us more about the resource that you have.
Yes. So it is one of my favorite tools. It's called the 10-minute focus tool. And it's kind of like a brain dump, right? So it's a brain dump with extra steps, but it really just takes 10 minutes and they can go to the website. You'll put the link in the show notes and they can download the form or the template. But really, it's getting all of those thoughts out of our head because we have so many thoughts running through our head. Neuroscientists have found out it's 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day. Gosh. And we make 35,000 decisions a day, right? So there's so much happening in our brain. And sometimes that just keeps us stuck because we're trying to hold all of that energy and we don't know what to focus on next. So this focus tool will help you really get all of that out of your brain onto a piece of paper, or I use a big whiteboard, to do that. And then how to practice that. It's one thing just to get it out of your head and on paper, but like I mentioned to that client before who had written down her 11 projects many times on paper, but she didn't know how to prioritize it and then move on to what was most important next. So that's what this tool will help them do. And the instructions are all in there for them.
Wonderful. So we'll have the link in the show notes. I'm excited to dive in as well myself. And you do have some events and some stuff coming up?
Yes. So I mentioned the CEO days. So those happen quarterly. So our next one of those will happen at the end of Q3, which is, it's happening on October 9th, Wednesday, October 9th. And that's just 3 hours on Zoom. So if you're anywhere in the US or Canada, right, you can hop on. And that is, Wednesday, October 9th, the CEO quarterly review. And then I also have in October my retreat called the Biz Bestie Getaway Retreat. So we have this amazing 8-bedroom estate on 183 acres just north of Colorado Springs for October 4th, 5th, and 6th. And it's going to be just a really incredible way to unplug from your daily life and your work life and your home life, family life, come together with a small group. There's only 7 women coming to the event. And we're going to spend some time checking in with our higher selves and how do we listen to our intuition and pay attention to that. And then Saturday, we're going to spend all the day really focusing on masterminding around our business. Where do we want to take it? And then Sunday morning, we do our action items because I'm all about, you got to have an action plan, right? And then you'll come back refreshed, renewed, and we're going to have a dance party and a vision board party and do some fun things in between there as well. So would love to speak to anybody about if they're interested in the retreat or in coming to the CEO days. They can book a free call with me on my website, and we'll put the link also in the show notes so that people can find me there.
Wonderful. Yes, I'll make sure and have all the info in the show notes. And before I ask you how people can connect with you, I have to ask the question that I ask all my guests, my $1 million question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Mary, what is an empowered woman then?
Oh my goodness. An empowered woman gets to make her own decisions. She gets to choose what she says yes to and what she says no to, and what she chooses to celebrate.
Yes, very important part. And
Yes.
when she chooses to, which hopefully is more
Yes.
often than not.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I love that. It's always fun to hear people's answers. It has everything to do with their message and what they believe in. So that's why I asked. It's a great way to wrap up, in a nutshell. This is what Mary believes. So I love it. How
Yes.
can people connect with you?
Yes. The best way is to go to my website, as we mentioned. So it's just successmagnified.com. There's a button at the top of every page that says book a free focus call with me, and they can book a free call with me and we can talk about what's going on with their business. I really only play on LinkedIn. I have my team post on some of the other social media platforms, but I'm really active on LinkedIn. So if you want to find me on LinkedIn, it's Mary Gaul Coach. And we'll put that in the show notes as well, but you can connect with me on LinkedIn and we can support, however I can support you that way as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was so great talking to you more, learning more about your business. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Marta. I'm so happy to be on your podcast.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.